Hola, buenas tardes. Bienvenidos a la capacitación Cómo hacer negocios en el Reino Unido. Mi nombre es Andrés Duani. Trabajo aquí en la Oficina Comercial del Perú en Londres, en la oficina de Perú. Conmigo está el director de la oficina, el señor Ricardo Romero, quien va a dar unas palabras para luego iniciar esta capacitación con los expertos que tenemos para ustedes el día de hoy. Espero que la disfruten y les doy el paso y la palabra al señor Ricardo Romero.
Buenas tardes. ¿Qué tal? Gracias por participar. Les agradezco a todos los que están presentes. Quería comentarle un poco respecto a una serie a un programa de capacitaciones que hemos realizado aquí en la Oficina Comercial del Perú en Londres, porque una de las cosas que pudimos encontrar cuando comenzamos esta gestión hace pocos meses, o ya un año, es que cuando las empresas peruanas miran al mercado europeo, el Reino Unido nunca ha sido un mercado que se ha considerado como prioritario. Entonces, determinamos que había mucho desconocimiento de cuáles son las oportunidades que se podrían encontrar en este mercado, y hoy que el Reino Unido ya no es parte de la Unión Europea, se hace aún más relevante que nosotros hagamos algún esfuerzo para transmitir información con respecto a cómo hacer negocios de manera exitosa en este país. Este es el cuarto taller que tenemos, comenzamos en diciembre, y nos vamos a enfocar en esta oportunidad, en cómo hacer negocios en el comercio electrónico en el Reino Unido. Vamos a dar un poco de cuáles son las formas de hacerlo, qué tipo de plataformas existen, cuáles son los procedimientos, qué pasos hay que dar. Y para eso hemos invitado a dos expertos, al señor Kevin Dixie, que es director de Fuel My Website, y al señor Steve Hyde, que es el CEO de Push Group. Ellos dos nos van a contar un poco el uso de estas plataformas electrónicas, y espero que esta información sea sumamente útil para ustedes. Esta presentación la vamos a subir a nuestra página web probablemente la próxima semana, para que aquellos que tengan interés de revisarla y de poder tener la información a la mano, se la vamos a disponer. Vamos a enviar un correo apenas el video esté en nuestra página. Vamos a enviarles un correo electrónico a todos los participantes para que puedan tener acceso a la misma. Sin mayor comentario, los dejo con el señor Kevin Dixie. Kevin, thank you so much for coming and helping us with this training session. And Steve as well, thank you both for your kind contribution to getting more knowledge about the UK market. Thank you. Welcome.
It's an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much for inviting us.
Yeah, thanks from me too.
Great. So I'm going to start. So good afternoon, everybody, and thanks for taking time to actually watch the presentation. Really appreciate your time this morning, I believe, where you guys are. So we're going to start with me, and we're going to be talking in the main about Amazon and how Amazon is relevant now in the UK, more so probably now than it has been in the past 2 or 3 years, especially with COVID and lockdown. So firstly, we're going to talk about us. We're going to talk a bit about distribution and how actually to sell on Amazon and the logistics required and what products sell best on Amazon. Now, one thing to bear in mind about my presentation and Steve's presentation, we're both talking about selling products directly to the consumer. So we're not talking about selling to a distribution channel or to a retailer. Sorry, someone's got a microphone on here. Yeah, so we're going to basically talk about how you actually sell directly to the consumer in the UK. So firstly, about Fuel My Website. I founded the company in 2007. We are specialists with setting up companies on Amazon in the UK and in fact globally. We work with companies all around the world. All we do is build companies. So companies that are looking to start on Amazon and set up on Amazon, we basically build them from setting up the account, making sure they comply, they have compliance ready, and getting their account live to sell on Amazon. We're partners with GS1. GS1 are the global barcode provider. To sell any products on Amazon, you need a barcode registered with GS1. They now check between the GS1 website and Amazon, so that's crucial. I've got links at the end of the presentation to GS1, and as I say, we're a partner in the UK, and we're also partners with Amazon. So Amazon themselves use us as case studies. So some of the products we've built on Amazon, Amazon actually using those as cases and tests within how they build and construct their platform moving forward. And to be clear, we've worked with all categories on Amazon. So every single category of every type of product we've worked with. So the UK right now, we've been locked down, it feels like forever, and I'm sure Steve and Andres and Ricardo, in fact, will back me up on this. It feels like we've been stuck in our houses for a long time. But what this has done is actually created a massive need for selling more online, whether it be on Amazon, on your own website, or indeed to retail. Retail in the UK is quite tricky. We can't visit retail buyers, etc. So just so as you know where we are in the UK, like online growth is huge right now. So I'm going to tell you some basics here. So obviously getting products to the UK is pretty straightforward. There's a trade agreement now with the UK government and the Peruvian government. So to get products from Peru to the UK takes around 3 days by air and about a month on a boat. So bear this in mind, because everything we're talking about is how to test the UK market. How would it work for me? How would it work for you? How can you test the UK market selling direct to the consumer? So there's a few things needed in order to sell in the UK, whether it be on Amazon or on your website. So firstly, the logistics companies specializing in organizing your products into the UK. There are a number of companies that do this. I'm sure most of you guys that export have people you use already, but just in case, there's a company we work with called Woodland Group. Very, very good at what they do. So again, I can make introductions after the presentation. There's also a logistics company that need to supply directly to your consumer. So normally you guys, I'm assuming, will sell direct to a retailer, and then once they've got the product, it's done. What we're talking about here again is selling directly to the customer. So you need some way of fulfilling the product and getting it into the customer's hand. So these are called 3PLs. These are warehouses that are specifically made and geared up to hosting a pile of products or a pallet of products. And when an order comes from your website or from Amazon, they can fulfill that. So one to look at here is core fulfillment. So that would then give you the opportunity to have the 3PL that can ship individual orders direct to the customer, or you have logistics companies that ship straight into Amazon's warehouse. Amazon have two, I'll explain more about Amazon, but Amazon actually do have a logistics element to the platform. So, if you send your products into an Amazon's warehouse, they will pick, pack and ship it directly to the customer that's ordered the product. So once again, all we're talking about is you guys selling directly to the customer. So again, I'm going to briefly touch on this. So the 3PL warehouses, as I say, they hold your stock. They will ship the orders direct to the customer. It's actually a very, very cheap way to test out the UK market for you guys. You don't need the facility. You don't need to have your own warehouse. You don't need to organize all of the processes, have a team in the UK. You can literally use these guys' facilities. So for example, here, if you sold 250 orders a month, one item per order, 1 kilo per unit, these are the kind of costs that would apply to you. So £4.75 for a product to be picked, shipped, and then sent to the customer. And that includes storage and everything. This is really, really crucial to understand the UK market initially. Obviously, once you establish yourself in the UK and you're growing and building the brand and building sales, you can then look at your own warehousing, etc. So about Amazon UK. So Amazon has grown massively. These figures are probably now already out of date. So there's £14.5 billion sterling of sales on the Amazon marketplace in 2018. I would imagine this will be much higher now. On Amazon, 52% of all the units sold are by third-party sellers. This is what we're explaining, how to be a third-party seller. So we're not selling to Amazon, we're selling on Amazon, the platform. There are 15 million people in the UK that pay monthly, a subscription fee monthly, in order to get free shipping, watch Amazon TV, watch Amazon Video, listen to Amazon Music. Amazon have really cornered this marketplace. And on top of that, there are 40 million other people in the UK who have Amazon as an account. It's huge. Before coronavirus in the UK, Amazon were telling us that they're looking to grow the food sales specifically by 173%. When coronavirus took over, the retailers ran out, like the capacity to supply goods directly to a client was at breaking point for a long time. Amazon smashed those figures instantly, and as Steve will tell you later, you know, we're seeing huge growth with everybody selling anything online right now. That's anything that's interesting, right? It's important. And grocery ordering online in the UK now. So when I say grocery, I mean things like alcohol, food, snacks, even fresh products now in the UK. The majority of people that were thinking and considering to sell products online or to buy products online weekly, like their weekly shopping or weekly grocery shopping, they're already doing it. They're already doing it in the UK. So there's a brief slide here about why you should sell on Amazon, right? 86% of all Brits, like basically, 70% of all British people go to Amazon before they go anywhere else. It's used as much as Google. Most people search on Google for products and things. Amazon is becoming the new Google. So bear that in mind. And it's growing super quick. So during the lockdown in the UK, they've hired 100,000 more people just in order to do the fulfillment and look after and service clients. So it's not going to stop anytime soon. It's growing quickly. So we're going to talk now a bit more about selling on Amazon and how you can sell on Amazon. So generally, there's two ways to sell on Amazon. One is to sell on Amazon, sell directly to Amazon. It's invite only, and it's kind of how you guys would normally be selling to a retailer, right? So it's direct to Amazon. They'll negotiate with you their prices. So they may require 50% margin of your retail price, and it's very traditional. It's called Vendor Central. I would recommend you guys don't do that initially. If you are approached by Amazon, it's quite tricky because you still have to build your listings, but they also start controlling the pricing a bit. And actually, when you're selling direct to the consumer, you need to actually control the pricing. The other side is called Seller Central, which is where you're selling, but you're selling on Amazon for yourself. This is crucial. So every time someone on Amazon places an order, you get the order and then you ship the product directly. You own that sale is yours, right? So you own 85% of each order. Amazon take 15% commission. And there's within that process, there's two ways. So you can sell and have your 3PL warehouse that ship the product to the customer, or you can put the product in Amazon's warehouse, and that's called Fulfilled by Amazon, which is FBA. Of the two, Fulfilled by Amazon always ranks higher because Amazon can control how quickly the customer gets the product and how fast they receive it. And the third way is if you find a reseller, someone who's already selling on Amazon, and you sell to these guys. Now the next slide, I'm going to pause for a moment on the next slide. At the moment, it's currently not possible for a Peruvian company to sell on Amazon. Okay. We don't know why. Andres and I have spoken directly to the managing director and the team in Amazon. They can't tell us the answer. But if your company is established in any of the countries on this screen, so you can see here that includes Chile, includes America, obviously the UK, Mexico. So if your company is established in any of these countries, you can sell on Amazon. What you require is to have a proof that your business is established there, a local phone number because they'll ring you to verify you're there, and a credit card based in that country. So if you don't have a company based in any of these countries, okay, you need to find an existing seller who can sell for you on Amazon, a distributor who already sells with an Amazon account. So this might be someone who can take you to retail, or you sell directly on your own website. So there are three things you can do. So selling directly on your website, Steve's going to cover that in detail later, so I won't mention that. But So with Amazon, if you've got a business established on their page before, no problem at all. If you haven't, you need to find a distributor or an existing seller. Now, myself and Andres and the From Peru team, we've actually established someone who's based in London with a warehouse, with a facility to pick, pack and ship, and actually support with their own Amazon account. So if anyone is looking to test Amazon right now, like we can do that for you now, even if you're not based in the UK or one of the countries we showed. So one thing to remember when selling anything online on any marketplace right now, you need to have GS1 barcodes. So if you don't have GS1 barcodes, there'll be a branch in Peru. If you can't find it, let me know. I'll introduce you to GS1 directly. It's quite simple. They'll give you a whole list of barcodes and you allocate a product to each barcode. Obviously, we mentioned warehousing and distribution, and obviously that your product complies to UK law, which is something From Peru can help you with. A lot of people will say, why Amazon? Does Amazon work? Is it not for me? My product won't work. I'm on Amazon, it's not working. Amazon works if you've got a good product. This is an example of one of the companies that approached us. As you can see, the red line on the right-hand side, they'd sold nothing until November. We took over their account in November, and very quickly, you know, within a couple of months, they'd sold £130,000 worth of products. Now, this company itself is a chocolate company. They produce truffles and organic vegan chocolates, etc. It works, right? It does work. And also, so I'm talking a bit more now about what we do. So this client here came to us, they said, Amazon's not working. And you can see here, right, they didn't really have the belief in their product. Poor images, not a lot of information. Amazon's a sales engine, right? When you're looking at Amazon on your mobile phone or you're looking on your computer, you're driven by images. Everything you sell with Amazon is image driven and text driven. So we basically took over this account, rebuilt it for them. So suddenly you understand what it does. You can see there's nice imagery. Now they've got 160 reviews and they're starting to sell quite a lot of products. So if you are looking to sell on Amazon, the most important thing is think about how a customer actually looks at your product. If you're looking at it and you're not happy with it, redo it. Keep trying until you get it exactly right. If you guys have got trademarks registered globally or registered in Europe, it will massively, massively help you with selling on Amazon. You can have more control over your brand. You can have much more control over your listings. You can build more content. I'll show you some examples. Again, there's a question and answer session after Steve's presentation. I'm assuming you guys are going to have plenty of questions, so I'm going to keep going through. We'll answer questions at the end. So if you haven't got a trademark on Amazon, all you can do really is just put text, right? With a trademark, it gives you the option to build quality, gorgeously visual pages. You can start explaining what goes into your product. I think this is probably crucial for Peruvian companies because, you know, the brand's going to be new to the UK. Why should they buy your product? What is it? What's the differentiator? How is it made? What's the supply chain like? You can bring all of this information in and really help sell your product. We've also got the ability then to start cross-selling other products. So if you've got a range of 5 products, or 6 products, you can bring them all under one listing if you've got a trademark. Again, I'll send you some links if you need links for trademarks. Very simple process, quite cheap to do. You can use companies to do trademarks for you, but I wouldn't necessarily recommend you do that. And again, with this content, you can start owning the badge. So this company we worked with and work with, they become Amazon's choice. As you can see at the top, it says Amazon's choice for bubble bath for children. Becoming the Amazon's choice means that everybody's going to see you whether you advertise or not. This gives you huge amount of sales. We were looking at a company just one day ago saying to me, is Amazon going to sell me the units directly to clients? I'm selling to Tesco's and to Sainsbury's and the big supermarkets. We looked on Amazon and the top product was selling 30,000 units a month, 30,000 units where all they pay is 15% commission. Huge opportunity for you guys. When you've got your trademark on Amazon, you can start going to build stores. So this is another one of our clients. This is a snack company, a healthy snack company. They've got gorgeous videos. Like you can literally start building a website on Amazon now. And these are all the things that most people don't realize. If everybody's on there, why not be on there? So nearing the end of the presentation now. So what's working right now on Amazon? One of the biggest successes we're seeing, especially since COVID and lockdown, are food and snack products. So there's ambient products. It may be alcohol, it could be beverages, cold beverages, drinks, anything you see in a grocery store right now is really, really working well on Amazon. Again, you need to have the right imagery, you need to have a product that's going to work. So this is one of our clients here who pop lotus seeds. We've worked with many grocery companies and they're all working really well. Other things that you can obviously understand why they work well, so things like home gyms. In the UK, gyms are closed, right? You can't go to the gym, you can't work out. So people selling their products like weights, dumbbells, etc., selling tons on Amazon right now. And also things like home decorating, craft products, anything that you want to keep you entertained while you're at home, they're selling well. And these things are only going to grow and grow and grow. And what we've found with Amazon is whilst everything is working well, it's only going to continue because people are now used to Amazon. And now they're used to Amazon, we can't see it slowing down. So here I've got some links. Again, we can send you this presentation. If you're interested in the presentation, take my email address here, send me an email and I'll send you the presentation back. I'm happy to have a phone call with anyone. We don't do sales calls, we do advice calls. So if you want to book a phone call with me, there's a link at the bottom as well. And that is my presentation on Amazon, and I'll pass you over to Steve.
Thanks, thanks, Kevin. Right, okay. I'm unable to start my video, so you might have to do that for me, Andres, but I can share my screen. So, yes, so the host needs to allow me to share my screen, if that's okay.
You have been.
Okay, thank you. And also, I hope I can start my video as well. Great, fantastic. Thank you so much. Okay, right. Shut these down and we will start. So, good afternoon from Oxford and good morning to you, wherever you are in Peru. And this is me, Steve. So, I have been working with Kevin now for a few years, and this is my background on LinkedIn. Any of you, please feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. And also I'll give you my email address at the end as well. So I'm going to go through just a few things, introducing Push, look at e-commerce in the UK, explain what digital marketing is, and look up how you might set up an e-commerce site that it works in the UK. And then some case studies, lots of really good case studies for you to think about. So Push, we've been around since 2007, 13 years or now 14 years of helping clients, customers in digital. Now we've got really good, strong relationships with Google, with Bing or Microsoft, and with Facebook. So excellent relationships here that really help us to help our clients. And we work globally in a number of different markets across all industries. We are, with Google, we are the only agency in the world that's won an award from Google 3 years running. To give you a bit of context, for Google, the largest market after the USA is the UK. And in fact, the digital advertising market in the UK.
Sorry, I didn't understand.
Sorry, that's my Google in the background just talking.
How much of UK trade this is?
No, thanks, Google. That's the
Got it.
that is the service app in the back just speaking to me. I'm going to take it out of the plug in a minute, so hopefully it doesn't interrupt me again. So yeah, we're the only agency in the world to have won these awards 3 years running. We're also one of the top agencies in the UK, the top 10 in terms of awards. So we work with customers who want to grow. We're looking at big growth, some growth, but they fundamentally want to grow through digital. And they understand the size of the market. So London is the global capital of e-commerce. So many of you will be familiar with the US market. You'll know that you have Silicon Valley, San Francisco, New York, but you might not be aware that for the best part of the last 10 years, London has been the global capital of e-commerce. What that means is that your average Londoner, or in many respects, most British, they spend more money on e-commerce than someone from San Francisco or from New York or other parts of the USA. So it's a real, or even before COVID, as Kevin was saying, even before COVID, the UK market was a very, very strong e-commerce market, very strong. So this just gives you an idea of the internet sales as a percentage of total retail sales and how it's grown. So there's going to become a point soon when internet sales in the UK are bigger than the whole of the rest of retail. That's how big it is. And COVID, as you can see in the towards last year, that spike in 2020, that's what really drove it. But it's really helped speed up the change. So one of the things that's been said is that we've had 10 years of growth in just 3 months, which was started really with the COVID pandemic. So things grew very, very quickly. Last year in Q4, so into October, November, December, we had the biggest ever quarter we've ever had. And it's continued to be busy through into January and February. Google, Facebook and Instagram and Amazon are experiencing massive, huge surges in traffic as the internet usage is up over 50% across Europe and a 32% increase in shopping across all those major markets. Kevin's already mentioned this. So there's over 100,000 additional people gone into the Amazon warehouses, another 75,000 more to cope with the demand. So e-commerce is really big in the UK. So what do we mean by digital marketing? Because it can sometimes be confusing. But just to be clear, digital marketing is part of your overall marketing mix. You have things like website structures, social marketing, social media, search, content, and email. Okay, so all of those different areas are part of the equation. And when you think of those big tech companies, Google, Facebook, Microsoft, and Amazon, they all have an advertising offering in place. So Google through search, Facebook through Facebook and Instagram, there's just a huge arrangement here. And they are growing every single one of them as they spend more time on advertising for products to clients. So what's the impact been of growth of online marketing? What has it done to offline? Well, this gives you an overview of what happened from 2010 to 2019. So digital advertising is now over 50% of all advertising. With mobile, just mobile advertising alone is now as big as TV in the UK. And that was before COVID. So it's quite likely that you're going to see it going from 70% to 80%. And there will be a time when, you know, the traditional marketing of radio, print and TV is probably under a third of total marketing. And this gives you an overview of who the main players are in digital. Somebody has a microphone. Okay, thank you. So you can see in 2006, you had Yahoo, but then the big emergence of Google. So Google starts to come in, it's the color in red. It starts to really dominate in 2010, 11 and 12. And then Facebook really started to emerge as a big player around about 2015. And more recently, we are now seeing the next big thing will be Amazon advertising. So that's a really big part of what we do as well. If you have a look at where Facebook was in, say, 2010, you can see it was quite small. And that's the sort of level that Amazon was at a few years ago. But look at that growth. So we're expecting to see Amazon become a very, very big part of the advertising mix. So when we think about our audience, just think of all of the things they're doing. So your typical audience, your customer, they will be looking on eBay and on Amazon, but they'll also be looking at newspaper sites like Time, The Guardian, The Times. They'll be on social media like Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, TikTok, LinkedIn. They'll be searching for your products as well, or products like yours, and they'll be on communications like WhatsApp and Gmail. These are all ways that we can advertise to those. And what Google and Facebook know about the audience is they know the behavior. They know when someone's been on to a Google search and searched for a particular product. They know when someone's been onto a site like the Times newspaper and looked at a certain advert. They're picking all this information up all the time. So many of you that understand marketing will be familiar with this typical marketing funnel: awareness, interest, desire, and action. I'm sure there'll be this exact same funnel in Spanish as well. So what we found is that the companies that really work at all the different levels of that funnel, so they're creating awareness, they're not just focused on the green, the action at the bottom, but they're actually building a pipeline of interested customers. That's where it really works very well. So let's talk very briefly about setting up e-commerce, then I'll move on to some case studies. So, I mean, there's a number. If you don't have a UK site at the moment, I mean, obviously you can get an English language site built very easily in Peru. That shouldn't be difficult for you to do. But if you haven't got one, you can look at WooCommerce or Shopify. I can send any one of you information about those types of platforms and sites. Both of them are very strong options in the UK if you're looking to build a site. And here's just examples of ones we've been involved with. This is a WooCommerce site. This one is a Shopify site that you can see. Now I'll show you some case studies. So I've just picked out a variety of case studies for different products. So in this one, this is a coffee company that we work with. We manage their Google and their Facebook and Instagram campaigns. They've seen their sales in the last 3 months grow by over 400% compared to last year. So that's a coffee company. This is a company that sells nuts on Amazon. It was introduced to us by Kevin. So Kevin's got all the listings there, and what we do is we do the advertising for them as well. So we've seen their sales grow by 3 times in 6 months. So that's from advertising on Amazon. This is another coffee company advertised on Amazon. And since we started working with them, their sales have grown by 20 times in 3 months. So again, great example of what happens. This is a nutrition product from the USA. They advertise on Google, Facebook, and Instagram. Sales in the last 3 months have grown by 13% compared to the previous period. And that's an example of a very big established product. So good, strong sales. This is a fashion brand. I mean, we have, if you like as well, many case studies on our own website, but this is a fashion brand called Chelsea Peers. They advertise on Google, Facebook, and Instagram. And their sales in the last 3 months grew by 252% compared to the previous period. So again, very strong sales. This is a huge brand in the UK, and you can see the size of their sales and how much they've grown. They're a really big company, and we work with them advertising on Google. This one is a company called Baby Blooms. They advertise on Google, Bing, Facebook, and Instagram, and their sales in the last 3 months have grown by 168% versus the previous year. So I hope that gives you a good example of the sorts of businesses that we work with. By the way, you can contact us at contact me using steve@pushgroup.co.uk. I'm sure Andreas will send out our details later on. But now it's time for, I think, we'll take any questions if you have them.
Yeah, Andres, I think it's over to you, mate.
Hi. Thank you. Well, thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Steve. I think it's been a very interesting conversation. Lots of questions, lots of questions in the chat. So let me just organize a couple of them that I think are probably interesting for everyone. So the first one, I think you spoke about a little bit in your presentation, Kevin, about the registration of trademarks. The Amazon USA facilitates this, and they were asking if the UK has a tool or a mechanism to also register your brands. Can you expand on that a little bit?
Yeah, so if you've already, is the company already on Amazon with the brand? Do we know? If let's assume you are.
Mike, Kevin, your mic
should be on. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, yeah. If the company's not, if they are already on Amazon USA with their brand trademarked, it works exactly the same.
We can hear you.
Andres, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Kevin.
Yeah, I don't know what's that. You can hear. Okay, panel, can you, if you can hear.
Yes, sorry.
Right, okay. Yes, if you have a trademark already and your brand registered in the USA, it's exactly the same process that you've already been through. So Amazon UK have brand registry. They're looking for European trademarks generally in the UK, as opposed to American trademarks. But there are ways around it. And again, if you go through the brand registry, so it's brandregistry.amazon.co.uk, you can register your trademark on there that's registered in the USA. If there are any issues, you'll need to do it in the UK. And to be honest, it's better because when you open a UK Amazon account, it automatically opens up the whole of Europe. So that's Spain, Italy, France, Germany, Poland now, and Netherlands. And that's all included in the same account. Is that okay, Andres? I don't know.
Yes, thank you. So another question here, and I think this is probably one of the main questions that people are having right now, is we mentioned the possibility of selling through distributors in the UK. So can you expand a little bit more how this would work and what alternatives do we have? I remember we've discussed this before as to partnering up with an already Amazon seller or having your product in a third-party warehouse or even having a company register here in the UK. Can you expand a little bit more on the ways we can bypass that rule of Amazon?
Yeah. Okay. So the first and probably most fundamental is if you have a company that is registered in Chile or USA or anyone on that list. Again, if you want me to send you the presentation, or I'll send Andres will have the presentation. He can send it on to you. But if your company is already registered, obviously it's going to be registered in Chile. But if you have a company based in the States or based in Chile or Peru, not Peru, sorry, or in the UK, then you can sell on Amazon, no problem. Amazon at the moment I don't know what the issue is, but if your company is only in Peru, you can't open an Amazon account until you have a UK or on that list presence, right? So to answer your question, Andres, so finding a distribution, a lot of distributors in the UK now, whilst they'll take your products and sell them to retailers for you, manage that whole process, there are many, many distributors now that have their own Amazon accounts. So those guys will not only sell your products to a grocery store, they'll also sell it for you on Amazon or for themselves, right? Because they'll be buying the product. So that's one option. The final option or third option is actually through connections we have. So Andres and I have had a Zoom conference call with a company based in London who are currently selling Scandinavian products. So what the guy does, he imports Scandinavian food products into the UK, and then sells them himself on Amazon and for his own website. He's got a huge company at the moment. It's growing massively in the last few months, last year, like everything has in the UK. It's growing hugely. But he would be willing, if you're looking to trial out Amazon with a few products, he'll be willing to have your products in his warehouse and actually sell it via his platform on Amazon for you. So again, he's not going to be buying the product from you, but he'll sell the product for you and then obviously pay you the difference. Is that clear enough, or do you need more depth, Andres?
I think that's good. Thank you. Thank you, Kevin. Also, just for the audience in general, there's also a program from Peru for e-commerce, and so they are providing a lot of trainings for Peruvian companies if they want to know what other alternatives they have for e-commerce. So it'd be good probably to check it out, and also if you have like the idea to expand to the UK, you can definitely contact us directly, and we can try to give you the support we can from our position. There's also another question, and this probably goes for Steve, which is focused more on the UK market. And the question is, so compared to other markets like Los Angeles or New York City, how many returns do you get in London? Is it a market that returns a lot of products, or how can you describe that in comparison to other markets?
Well, I don't know I saw that question and I've been looking while we've been talking at the statistics. So I don't know the comparison between San Francisco or any other market in the US, but I do know that the returns, people buy more because they know that they can return stuff, and so businesses know how to work with that. What's key here is it's being aware of the particular product that you're working with. But the UK is a very attractive market to work within for many manufacturers, and they're not scared by the returns because they see the amount of people that are buying as well. Fundamentally, it's a problem if your product isn't right for the customer. So you obviously see high returns in apparel and fashion, but sometimes it's just because someone's got the wrong size or something like that. So there are industry statistics for the US and for the UK. It is a factor. So people do returns. They do returns on Amazon. They do returns when it's direct to consumer. But it certainly isn't stopping the growth of e-commerce. The growth of e-commerce in London is still very high, and people are used to the kind of customer service where maybe they will make a return, but businesses know how to manage this. They factor it in their way of operating.
And also, I think also from Amazon experience, especially in food, we find the return rates are super low.
Yes, they are. Super
low. So you might sell 1,000 products and have one return in food specifically. I'm just looking at some questions actually, Andres. There's another question. There's a few questions we can answer. We can read and answer for you. One of the questions was that someone has an exclusive brand and looking to become a reseller on Amazon. That's fine. So Steve and I work together. Our companies work together. So if you've got an exclusive or a new brand looking to launch, whether it be on Amazon or you're looking to launch your own website, we work collectively, our companies, to make sure that the launches are worked in the best way possible. I think also there's someone else was saying, trying to read Spanish. I can understand French, so it makes a bit of sense. Someone was saying, how many products do you need minimum to send, I think, to sell on Amazon? I've got companies that sell one product. And I spoke to one guy who was in Bali on the beach, has one product, only has one product on Amazon, but he sells 8,000 units per day. Each unit he makes £9 profit. He doesn't do much else. Another question, how much does it cost percentage-wise? Amazon depends on the product range and the category. Generally, as a rule of thumb, they take 15% commission for each sale off of the sale price. So always bear that commission in mind. They also charge you a monthly fee. So in the UK, the monthly fee is £30. Someone else was asking about, they've got an American account. If you have an account in the USA and want to launch in the UK, with Amazon, each country or each group of countries linked together run separately. So you need to open up an Amazon UK account. Once that's live, you can then link the two together to become a global account where you'll be charged $49 per month for both accounts, as opposed to one per account.
Also, possibly for Steve or Kevin as well, I'm getting a lot of questions in the Q&A, which is great. But let me just try to compile a few of them. Lots of people are asking if their product, a certain product, will have success or not through an e-commerce platform. A lot of them from apparel, some of them from other industries. Yeah. But what would you recommend if someone wants to do a study on the feasibility of having their product in the platform? What variables should they examine to find if there's an opportunity there?
First of all, I mean, actually, it's a really easy question to answer. I'm going to answer it in two ways. I'm going to talk about what Kevin and I can do, and then I'll talk about what you can do on your own. So Kevin and I, or our businesses, together, there's, lots and lots of people, over 70 odd people that are experts in Google, Amazon, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and all of those areas. And we get lots of businesses every single day contacting us for help. So our businesses have to look at those businesses, whether they're selling snack products or shoes, or it's a service, or it's apparel, whatever it might be. We have to look at that and consider whether or not it will work, because we don't have time. We really don't have time to work with all of the different businesses. And so if we think it's not going to work, we will tell people very quickly. We will say, look, this sector is too competitive. Your brand is not the price is not right for your brand. The website you might have for the brand might not be strong enough. We can do that analysis quite quickly. Literally, if you were to put together, anyone that's interested in being in the UK, just send us your websites. Even if it's the website in Spanish, we'll still be able to see the type of product. Send us as a follow-up action. It will not be difficult for us to say, this could work, this won't work, this might work. And we can have that conversation quite quick. It's very easy for us to do because we have worked between us. We've worked with probably 3,000 or 4,000 different companies. So lots, and they're coming all the time, more and more. If you want to ask us, Kevin and I, we will not be for any initial requests for help. It doesn't cost anything. We're all happy to tell you whether or not it will work. So yeah, I'll remind my email again. I'll put it in the section here. But if you want to do it yourself, I would say probably just like, putting your own accounts together, your final year accounts, you can try and do it yourself. And my guidance would be, look at the competitors in the UK. So go on to Google UK or Amazon in the UK and look for the competition there to try and see whether or not you think there is a space there and how strong the competitors are. That's the best thing you can do. But for anyone else, you can get in touch with us and we will tell you how it could work for you, or why you should not look at this market. It's important because we have to sometimes say to businesses, look, this is not going to work for you. So we also take a decision on which companies we can work with. I hope that helps.
Yeah, and I think also that but collectively we've got a lot of tools we use. So someone was asking a question earlier about what products can sell best, etc. on Amazon. But you know, we can run reports and tell you exactly what's selling by what company, by what type of product. And so this is what Steve's saying. So if you've got any questions, we can come back very quickly.
Yeah, we have a whole team here that are used to doing this, and it doesn't take long. You know, it's a bit like a traffic light system. You know, a traffic light, green, orange, red. You know, we can see very quickly which ones are good to go and green. Some are in the middle, and then some we would say, look, this is probably not going to work. But you know, as Kevin said at the beginning, a lot of the products that are potentially coming from Peru, there is a real interest in the categories that we talked about earlier. But yeah, the easiest thing you can do is to go on to Google UK or Amazon and have a look at the existing products. But I would really say you should get in touch with us, because we don't have time to, you know, if you get in touch, don't worry, we won't call you again. We won't have time. We'll try to give you some advice, some honest advice, and then leave you to do what you want to do.
Yeah, well, there's a few more in the Q&As there. There's questions every angle right now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, so I'm just looking through the Q&A questions, Steve. I don't know if you. So there's a question about the payment gateway most used in the UK. There's two. I mean, really, it's PayPal and Stripe, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah.
Steve, is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Sometimes people use things like Go Cardless, but it's PayPal, Stripe, and those sorts of tools.
Someone else saying I've got a web page for the US market. Do you think we should change it for the UK market? Steve?
Yeah. It depends. I mean, share the website with us, and we'll have a look. You know, there are British people that will buy from US websites, but you know, depending on what the product is, obviously, but often people expect to buy it in pounds sterling, but it depends. I have bought products. I had a product arrive today from Amazon that came from the USA. It's right by my side. It's a book, just wasn't available in the UK. It came from the US, but that was from Amazon. So just it will depend on the type of product. If it's if it's quite unique, it could work.
I think looks like there's a lot of companies with baby clothes and fashion companies.
Yeah.
Fashion and baby clothes, baby products in general. So if they're like nappies or diapers or whatever, they sell huge. Like anything that can be found in a grocery store on Amazon right now, like no question you should be on Amazon. If it's baby clothes, for example, we've worked with a number of baby clothes companies on Amazon, but if it's not right for Amazon, or like Steve and I between us know a number of like big stores that actually sell to the UK market. So, you know, if we think it's not right for Amazon or for your own shop right now, we can introduce you to some big sort of players in the UK space as well.
Kevin, having said that, there's another question which is quite interesting, and it's how can we as exporters connect with distributors that sell through Amazon? So how would you recommend which strategy to approach these distributors and sell the idea? Remember, we spoke already with one of them, the Scandinavian Kitchen, and he had a lot of questions, obviously, about the product and the opportunity that we see in the market. What would be your approach if you want to convince someone to partner up with you and sell your products through Amazon?
I think when you're talking to distributors in the UK, they're very much like retail buyers. So if you can imagine, a retail buyer is getting contacted 100, 200 times a day. Can you buy my product? Can you sell my product? You know. So you've got to have something that's different. I mean, I would say looking for distribution is a good strategy if you've got a product that is a slower moving product. But anyone watching this presentation right now that's got a fast moving product, so like a food-based product or an FMCG product, like distribution channels aren't really needed anymore, because Amazon opens that door for you, or your own website will open that door for you. Retailers nowadays, retail buyers, certainly in the UK, you know, they're looking on Amazon, they're looking on Google search, they're looking on Google adverts, they're seeing products, they're trying to go direct because they can cut the middleman out. You know, the distribution channels take a big chunk of margin, and before it arrives at the store, there's huge amounts taken. So how would you find a distributor on Amazon? That's the question you asked, sorry. Firstly, search on Google for any distributors of your brand, of your type of product, sorry. So again, if it's baby fashion clothes, look for baby fashion clothes distributors on Google. You'll see most of them have a whole bunch of icons showing you what stores they sell in or sell to. If you see Amazon as a brand logo on their website, they all do it. They all put Tesco, Sainsbury's. If you see Amazon logo on their website, it means more often than not, they'll be selling for themselves on Amazon. That's an easier way of finding out. Alternatively, just send me an email. I can help you. I think it's it.
All right. Thank you. I think it's a time for us to go. If you will, Kevin, Steve, I need to speak in Spanish a little bit. Bueno, le agradecemos infinitamente, nos ha sorprendido el interés de este taller. Hemos tenido 101 participantes, lo cual es un récord comparado con los otros 3 que hemos tenido ya. Nos han llegado una cantidad de preguntas impresionantes, no hemos podido responder todas. Vamos a tratar de responderlas un poco en el camino, pero algo que sí les quisiera decir, que muchas de las preguntas que he visto que han llegado no se pueden responder de manera genérica, porque van a tener que, por ejemplo, preguntas como si mi producto se puede vender en Amazon. Obviamente yo no soy el experto, Andrés no es el experto, pero podemos ver la posibilidad de trabajar con Steve y con Kevin, esa posibilidad de evaluar el producto, porque yo creo que va a tener que verse caso por caso, no se puede hacer aseveraciones genéricas sobre una diversidad de empresas que tenemos acá presentes en este taller. Eso por un lado. Por otro lado, nosotros vamos, como comenté al principio, vamos a poner este video en la página web el lunes probablemente. Me parece que Andrés les ha pasado el link de donde va a estar el video, pero en todo caso igual nosotros vamos a enviarles un correo el lunes con todos los detalles de contacto de Steve y de Kevin, obviamente también de nosotros, para que si es que quieren hacer un seguimiento después de esta presentación. Nosotros estamos acá siempre dispuestos a apoyar en la medida de lo que podamos. Y obviamente esta idea de hacer este taller era un poco a raíz de lo que está pasando con la pandemia. Obviamente la venta por internet ha explotado de una manera impresionante, entonces por eso hay un gran interés. Y queremos aportar de alguna manera en que haya un conocimiento de cómo se hace este proceso para poder vender por internet. Y a mí me han parecido las 2 presentaciones, las de Kevin y la de Steve, muy buenas, muy útiles. Información como que si eres de Perú y estás solo en Perú, no puedes vender directamente a Amazon. Eso, por ejemplo, yo no lo sabía hasta hace 2 semanas. Entonces, ese tipo de información nos ayuda y nos han dado ideas de cómo llegar a Amazon UK a través de una empresa registrada en el Reino Unido o una empresa que tenga representación en España, en otro país de Estados Unidos, no sé. Habrá que ver caso por caso, pero bueno, en fin. Esos son la realidad un poco de cómo sería en el caso específico de Amazon UK, pero creo que sí hay muchas oportunidades para muchos de ustedes. Así que les agradecemos una vez más por el apoyo de su presencia, es un apoyo, así lo vemos nosotros, de las acciones que nosotros como oficina comercial llevamos para brindarles a ustedes las herramientas que necesitan para poder ingresar al mercado británico. Kevin and Steve, thank you so much for your presentations. Very helpful, the information. I've learned a lot actually hearing your expertise on this subject. And we're looking forward to work with the both of you later on in specific projects that we can work on in order to help these companies to reach the market in an efficient and I guess, profitable way. So thank you so much for your time. And if there's nothing else, well, thank you, everyone. Adios. Bye-bye.
Gracias.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks for your help. Thanks for your time.